a hustler that has a lot of wisdom to share over 16 years of entrepreneurship.
Put some respect on it.
That you ain't got no boys, you ain't got no partners. This is business, not boysness. What's up? Welcome back. I'm in the building. This is your man Cash Paris. I'm sorry about the test I had to do, but I told y'all this week I would be back streaming on Periscope and YouTube Live, so I had to go through some technical difficulties to try to get both of the stations clicking at the same time. Don't forget, I am watching 2 monitors at this time, so it's possible that I can miss your question if you pose a question or something of that nature on the screen. For those that don't know me, my name is Cash Paris. I could be found at cashparis.education. I help appreneurs build the company behind the app. So if you are into startups, or if you're into tech, or if you're into building big business, that is what we do on this channel. That is what we talk about. Startup entrepreneurship. So again, I'd like to welcome you all out. I also have a site called Proceed Startup Society. Let me show that to you right quick. If I can get that on the screen here. Let me see, not that one. No, I don't think I have it on here on the screen. So let me go back up here to this main one. All right. So I'll just tell you about it. Proceed Startup Society is an online membership for startup entrepreneurs that are interested in creating their business and building their business so they can get funded, so they can sell their products or services, you know, national or international, global or something of that nature. We talk about startup entrepreneurship from every aspect and every angle. And the first thing we talk about on that website is building the entrepreneur. I do totally feel that the only way you're going to get a successful startup, you're going to have to have yourself in a position to be knowledgeable. What up, Suck My Shoes? To be knowledgeable about your business, not the domain space that you're in, but about your business, in its entirety. So typically, when you start to look at success of entrepreneurs, you will find that entrepreneurs who have failed with a business or maybe have had a previous business that they got out of, those entrepreneurs usually go on to create bigger and better things. The more times that you fail at entrepreneurship or the more businesses that you have had that was successful, it usually snowballs up the hill and gets bigger and better. Now, I don't know if the title was reading on everybody's well, not everybody, on YouTube and on Periscope because of all the technology I had to use to do all the configuration, so I couldn't tell you. But the title of this Periscope today and this YouTube Live is Startups, Funding, and Sales. And we're just going to talk about these things right quick. I don't plan on being on here forever today, so I hope I can make this insightful and impactful for the little time that I'm on here. Now, let's say this. First and foremost, if you are thinking about startup entrepreneurship, you have to understand what a startup is. Now, many people are going to call it something different. Some people believe because they're starting a business, they are in a startup business. Now, don't forget, y'all can ask questions. You can post anything on the screen. I am looking at 2 monitors. I will try to catch everything. If I have to put my glasses back on, I will do that for you, but try to post something and I'll answer any business questions that you have at the time. But a startup is a business that's in search of a business model that works. Well, Cash, what is that? What does that mean? That means that typically when the founders go into this business, startups are innovative businesses, or it's doing business in a new perspective, in a new way. The reason why startups don't seem to work a lot, or they don't seem to take off as fast as a typical brick and mortar or a traditional business that is already established, is because it's new. And since it's new, it has difficulty in it to understand how to go about achieving what you're trying to achieve with new technology or new ways of doing business. So sometimes the growth curve may be 9 months, maybe 18 months before it actually starts picking up steam. So that's why it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, because it takes a while for that startup to grow, because they don't just grow ASAP overnight. Now, I'm saying that to say, so what is a startup? A startup is a company that's in search of a business model that works. Well, Cash, what is a business model? So I wrote my note here just to say this verbatim. A business model is a system. It is used for operating a business successfully, and it should be followed as an example. Now, I said that because I'm trying to give you some kind of understanding that when you're creating a business model for a business, it has multiple interconnected parts. So it will have customer segmentation, revenue streams. It's going to have key activities. It's going to have value proposition. And all of these things are used to create a business that works. So if you do not understand those things, the chances that you're going to create a successful startup is going to be slim to none, because this model is used to capture and deliver and create, capture, and deliver value to the company, as well as the clients, as well as the investors. Now, that's what a business model is used for. Now, Cash, well, how does this make any sense to me? How should I use that in my everyday business endeavors? How should I use that situation? Well, the reason that we want to use it is the fact that we are trying to get funded. We are trying to get sales. The only way we can have consistency, we have to have a roadmap or a blueprint to go by. That roadmap or that blueprint that we're trying to go by in this business, it is what we call in that business model. And I know this, Cash, that sounds like mumbo jumbo, but when you're trying to have something that works, you want to have something that you can reproduce. It's a system. It's a process. Now, I'm expressing that because I talk to people all the time, and people, I want to get funded, or I need more funding, or we need to raise money. And typically, when you're starting out in a startup, it's in a pre-seed stage. Now, pre-seed stage is going to be something that has an idea that needs to be validated. So you're in a stage of, I need just a little bit money to get it off the ground, to build my first prototypes, to build my little MVP or whatever it is, so I can get it to the market, so I can validate my concept. And now sometimes I throw these words off, and I try to spend my time breaking them down, because it's not as simple as it sounds, you know what I'm saying? But validation of the product or the concept is what we have to do. But let me get back to pre-seed stage. So in that pre-seed stage, that's the first stage you're going to enter in when you're starting your business. That's the stage where you put up, or you're going to have little to no financing. And that financing that you're going to get, or that funding that you're going to get, is either going to come from you, it's going to come from friends and family, or it's going to come from crowdfunding, or it's going to come from organizations like your church may help donate to raise money, or some kind of neighborhood associations in your community may put up a few dollars for you to try to validate your idea and your concept. And or you may bump into an angel. That's very rare, but you may bump into an angel that can help you create the finances that you need. Now, when I talk about concept validation, I'm just going to say these few things. Concept validation, as we are trying to validate the concept, we need to prove that it's worth us building the product. We need to prove that it is worth us creating some kind of a service or a business around whatever our concept is. Just because we have an idea doesn't mean that it needs to be on the market. Now, people ask that question all the time, like, how do I sell it? I dealt with a client with that earlier. I got an idea. This is what I want to do. How do I get that sold? That's not how you do business, because I was trying to tell her, I said, well, you need to make sure that you are having the first step you want to do is pick your customer segment or your clients, and then you want to survey them. You want to meet with them. Well, how am I going to survey people? I don't know anybody. I'm not out there like that. That's the point we're trying to make. If you cannot do the market research by going to the actual potential customer, surveying them, speaking with them, talking with them to design the product to fit their needs, typically you won't sell the product no matter what product you create. It's going to be hard for you to sell the product if you don't even know where the customer is at. If you can't find a customer to do free market research, if you and I can't find a customer to say, hey, how you doing, Mr. Customer? This is an idea that I have that I think would change your life. This is what I think will actually make your trial with that such and such better, easier, faster. This is what I got. Want to check me out? If you can't find people to do that with, the chances that you're going to be able to find somebody to buy it when you actually spend money to make it is going to be slim to none. Most people fail in business not because they do not have ideas. Most people fail in business because they do not have customers. Customers. Not just customers that window shop traffic. We talk about paying customers. Well, how do I get paying customers, Cash? Hey, what up, Nitris? How do I get paying customers, Cash? The only way we can get paying customers, we have to know them before we create the startup, before we create the product. Well, no, Cash, somebody told me this one time. No, well, I got my customers after. There is a great difference from what I'm talking about building and what they were talking about. I'd say I'm trying to get you to understand when we're talking about a startup, when we talk about a business, we're not talking about a business that's local. We're not talking about small business development. We're not talking about small business enterprise. We're talking about startup entrepreneurship. We are talking about innovative driven businesses that can go national, international, or even global. So when we're talking about a business like this, we're talking about sales ranging anywhere from 5 million on up. Why am I expressing it like that? Because to get that level of money, you have to know who you're focusing your marketing campaigns on. If you cannot understand who you're going to focus the marketing campaigns, the chances that you will actually make money in entrepreneurship is going to be very, very, very slim. Cash, what are you talking about? I'm trying to express the fact that if you do not focus this marketing to understand who the customer is prior to you trying to sell your product to the customer, you will never sell your product to the customer. Now, that's why it's important when we talk about doing a customer survey. And let's say this too. You know what people have a problem with? They have a problem with choosing one. That sounds like a bad thing. Like, Cash, I don't want to bring my business down to just one customer segment. They want to sell to the whole world. They want to sell to everybody. But what we're trying to say is you can sell to everybody that wants to purchase. But when you're aiming your marketing, the marketing has to be very, very specific. So those are some of the problems that I run into on a day-to-day basis. I want to get funded. People don't want to put money in funding into an entrepreneurship venture, into a startup venture until the risk is down. Well, how's the risk down? That means the product or the service idea and concept has been validated by the market, as well as you may be on track to get your first customer, even though you have never even created the product. We call that pre-sales. Selling something big. Look, we're going to sell this before it launch. Let me tell you who does a great job with pre-sales. Apple, the iPhone. They know the iPhone is coming out for Christmas. People can pre-order that iPhone before it even come out. They can say, we have sold out of the iPhone 37,000, 2 weeks before it even launched. We are already have 1 million orders fulfilled already. So that's who do, that's just to give you an idea of what we talk about pre-sales. You can get to the point where you can use the money from the pre-sales to actually build the actual product. But that is when you're starting to understand business. And I know it sounds crazy to some people because they feel like, let's just build it. I deal with appreneurs. I deal with people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars coding a website just for it to come out wrong. And they like, man, we need more funding because we spent all the money on employees to help build the product, and now the product is wrong. And that happens daily. And that's why I'm saying you have to do the market research before you go out there and build the product. If you and I want to create our own business and be successful at business, the customer, I'm never going to stop saying it because it's the only thing that makes sense. It's not about my dream. It's not about my idea. It's not about my concept. It's not about who I know or how many followers I have. It is strictly about what the people can benefit from. So if you want to get funded for your startup, if you want to get money from investors, you have to move the actual needle on the track. You have to move it forward to say, now we have validated the concept. We have proven that people actually want this product. Now that we have proven that, we've moved it so far, we actually have pre-sales. Now that we have pre-sales, we have income coming in. We are a more attractive company and we have decreased the risk. So if an investor comes in, they're not going to lose all their money. They know that it's a potential that they're going to lose, but for the most part, we're on the right track to get so many sales, so many users, so much traction is what they call it in the industry. And I didn't want to keep it too long. I know that's been about 15-20 minutes. If you have questions, there is a delay from my screen to your screen because of the technology that I'm using to simulcast on YouTube, but I'll wait for a few minutes to talk about any questions. If you have questions, I'll gladly take them and answer those questions as best as possible. Send me any questions right now. I do have some spare time, and I'll give it all to you as much as I can think of. I will give it to you right here. Don't forget, I have a website called Proceed Startup Society. You can find that website by clicking the Linktree link, and that Linktree link will say join the membership. When you join that membership, we will have a lot of content, a lot of information for those who are serious about entrepreneurship, changing their life, changing their legacy, changing the things that they will be able to achieve in life. The website offers tons and tons of information, and it's the best startup information that you can get. We get this information by hands-on experience, by real first-time experience. So the information that we're telling to you is not theory, it's practicality. It's things that we have practiced. So definitely join that membership, be a part of that, support Cash Paris and the Proceed Startup Society. And we have a lot of great content coming. I didn't see any questions. So if there is no questions at this time, again, don't y'all forget to join my YouTube. If you are on YouTube, follow me on YouTube. I would love to see you on my YouTube channel. If you're looking for a consultant or a strategist or somebody to work on your team to help you build your business, you can contact me directly. All of that is through the Linktree link right there in my Periscope profile right there on my YouTube channel. You can click that Linktree link and follow me, join me as I try to build this empire with you. Let's get together. Let's do big things. Let's do great things. I appreciate your time and attention. Again, Proceed Startup Society. Become a member. Join a team right now. My name is Cash Paris. I help appreneurs build the company behind the app. Until we broadcast again, y'all stay cool. Be blessed. Peace.
They don't see your vision fire.
I'm just a hustler that has a lot of wisdom to share over 16 years of entrepreneurship.
Put some respect on me.
That you ain't got no boys, you ain't got no partners. This is business, not business.